Hey everybody, it's Charlie from Daily Motor. Today we've got the sound system demo of the 2021 Kia Telluride and its 12-speaker, 630-watt Harman Kardon audio system. This is going to be an in-depth review. We're going to take a look at how the infotainment screen works, take a look at audio inputs, audio controls, speaker locations, Apple CarPlay, and Android Auto. Then we're going to get out on the road and listen to these sample tracks while we're rolling, and I'll give you my thoughts at the end. Now, if you don't care about any of that stuff at the beginning, you just want to hear the music, click ahead. We've got chapters in the video. You can get right to the tunes. Before we get started, let's hop out, take a quick look at the car. One of the best cars on sale today for many people, the Kia Telluride. Looks the part, has all the features you want at a decent price, 3 rows of seating, towing capability, a good V6, a long warranty. There's really not too much more to cars than the Telluride. If you want to see more on the car, check the links in the description. We've got a fuel economy test as well as a review. Now, we always do this test with lossless, uncompressed WAV audio files on a USB stick plugged directly into the system, and high-quality binaural microphones in both of my ears, giving you the most realistic audio system demo on YouTube. We also do the test with the sound settings set to their factory defaults, so let's take a look at those now. Good Kia touchscreen here, very easy to use, fairly responsive. Let's go, I guess we actually want to go to Media, and then Menu, Sound Settings. You have your Quantum Logic Surround. It says authentic multi-dimensional surround sound, but it does sound quite artificial. Let's turn that on now. Having that off gives you a much more true to recording sound. It sounds very tinny with it on. Some people might like that for certain types of music, but I'm going to leave it off for most of this test. You also have a bass boost option. Let's turn that on. Pretty straightforward, but again, not how the tracks are really designed to sound. On top of that, you have treble, mid-range, bass, and your standard fader and balance adjustments. So let's do treble, mid-range, and bass now. Look at how well responsive this screen is and how I can move these around and it goes right with my finger. If you guys watch these videos regularly, you'll notice some screens I have much more trouble adjusting the settings. On top of that, you can adjust some different system volumes for navigation and turn a beep on and off, things like that. That is about it. For audio controls, you have a really nicely placed volume knob here. It's a good size. You can turn it, it's got good clicks, and it's a nice proximity from the steering wheel, and it's flanked on the opposite side with a matching tuning knob. You also have a volume rocker on the left side of the steering wheel. For track selection, you can either use the touchscreen, you can use this roller, you can use these physical buttons here, or you can use the little rocker right next to the volume controls. So again, very straightforward, very easy to use controls. I like that. For audio inputs in the Telluride, you have your standard AM, FM, Sirius XM satellite radio, which you actually do through the radio section. And then under media, you have Bluetooth, USB-A with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay support, and that is it. So what does that mean you're missing? Well, you don't have a disc player, you also don't have a 3.5mm auxiliary input jack, and you don't have any USB Type-C. So your hi-fi options are a little bit more limited. I wouldn't be surprised if they added Type-C into a mid-cycle refresh for the Telluride. For speaker locations, like I said, this is a 12-speaker system. Starting on the bottom left, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, into the second row. In fact, we'll do some second and third row audio demo, so we'll turn that up. 6, 7, 8, 9. Open up the trunk. Subwoofer 10, and then 2 speakers in the third row, 11, 12. Let's hop back in that third row, see what it sounds like back there. Hold this forward. Wait, is that the best bit? No, wait, I want to do it like this. Right? There we go. Not too bad. You can very clearly hear the sound coming right out of these speakers. It's a bit hollow, but for third row passengers, not awful. How about the second row? A little absent on sound. Subwoofer doesn't really get much back here. But, again, fairly decent. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto demonstration. Start out with CarPlay. Now there is only one USB data port, so I'm going to have to stop my music. So I'm going to switch over to radio real quick. Unplug that. Plug in our iPhone. Already got an Apple CarPlay prompt. Bada bing, bada boom. Look how quick that works. There we have it. Left side of the screen. Our maps are not loading, but we've got music, settings screen, main menu. And then this part is kind of just taken up by nothing, but I think you can swap that out. Yeah, you can switch that to different sorts of screens. All right, Android Auto. Prompted right away. And there you have it. Super easy. You have your main screen loading up. Got our maps. And then home screen. YouTube music. And settings screen. So it's not very large. Doesn't do the widescreen mode, which is a bit of a bummer, but still works very well. All right, let's get the music going again and get on the road. Now that we're at highway speeds, turn the music down, get an idea for what the Telluride sounds like at just over 70. Wind noise is pretty low, but road noise is pretty loud on more loud sections like this. Concrete highway, things with some road imperfections, you hear a lot more road noise than I would expect, but on quiet portions of road, it is remarkably quiet. We recorded 70 decibels over the smooth section of highway that we measure on our rudimentary phone decibel reader. Before we go to our usual next track, I should show you the Sounds of Nature feature. So under Media, you can go to Sounds of Nature, and then you've got a few different options such as Calm Sea Waves. You also have Lively Forest. Rainy Day. open air cafe. Warm fireplace. And snowy village. Overall, pretty gimmicky. Media, back to USB. Telluride's Harman Kardon system manages to make a lot of crisp highs, but they're emphasizing them too much, so as you turn the volume up, you get a lot of this high end without enough power and low carrying notes to complement it. I have found myself turning the high ends, the treble adjustment, way down, especially on more R&B style music where you've got a strong bass line and then a strong kind of hi-hat tisk 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 sort of line. I had to turn the mid-range down a bit and the treble way down, and it still wasn't quite enough. Weird mixing in this car. Let's see if we notice that at all on this next track. Let's test out the bass a bit. We'll do the bass all the way up, maybe, and then also the bass boost. I don't know if the microphones are going to pick it up, but I'm getting a pretty nasty slap, bit of a sloppy sound in there. The subwoofer itself is decently powerful. I've got a small amount of mirror shakeage, but for a larger SUV like this, getting up near the $50,000 range, they could do more with the bass. wrapping up my thoughts on the 12-speaker Harman Kardon system here in the Kia Telluride. I was hoping for a little bit more. Harman Kardon seemed to be a bit of a hit or a miss, and in some of these larger SUV form factors, they should really be able to do more with the balancing. And I mean, they've got good speakers in here. We've got a good setup. We've got tweeters, we've got woofer. We should be able to have it really nicely balanced and come through with some real power. It sounds good on first impression, but once you start cranking up some more complex music, you get a harshness in your ears that's unpleasant. So that being said, objectively speaking, for sound quality, this would be getting a C rating. Factor in the fact that it is a pretty usable infotainment, very easy to use. I love the inputs, I love the controls. For this price in this class, still about a C. So it gets saved a little bit by the fact that the infotainment works pretty well, but also gets dinged a bit that when you're dealing with a large three-row SUV, you should really be able to get some power out of that. So thank you all so much for watching. If you want to see more on the Telluride, check the links in the description. We've got our highway fuel economy test, which I'm doing now, and then also a full review. And we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always,